Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, all in crypto here, and welcome back, guys, for another daily cryptocurrency market update. For those of you that are new around here, do not hesitate to hit that subscribe button and make sure you click the notification bell so that you can get an update just like this one every single day at 1 p.m., where we not only help you and we report on everything happening within the cryptocurrency space, but we also look further afield and we try and piece markets together and work out where our small but very significant space is going. And on that note, I just want to say that you have a amazing opportunity in front of you right now in regards to the crypto space. We have been buying up cryptos since the start of the year after pivoting from being pretty damn bearish to seeing sense, looking at what the market was telling us and getting back in from an investment point of view. And since then, we've done rather well. We've been very accurate on the direction of this market, spotting a fundamental change that we've been getting continuous feedback from that was the right call to where we currently are today, which is the stage. Bitcoin is already in what we would call a stage 2. You want to learn about stage analysis, please do not hesitate to join the Patreon. It is a simple way for you not to get wrecked as a retail investor. And actually, we're going to start championing it on this channel, but more about that probably in later videos. Ultimately, guys, there is a massive opportunity with crypto right now. And actually, it's not just with crypto. We looked at a number of stocks yesterday, Snapchat, Robinhood, Roku, that are all in this kind of, many of them have already broken out and entering the next uptrend. Bitcoin is already in an uptrend. Crypto Total is in an uptrend. The altcoins are lagging behind, but everything is primed for that upside continuation and to actually enter this breakout phase despite the headlines. And just a quick word on the headlines, guys. This is why it's valuable to follow a channel such as this one. Ignore the headlines, ladies and gentlemen. You've now got people flipping bullish at this stage, and there's no issue with that. However, they've caught the stage rather late. We made a decision to get back into the markets on the 5th of January, and ultimately that was a pretty spectacular call, not just for Bitcoin, for the stock market. Stock market may have a bit of a down day today, simply based on some earnings that came out after hours yesterday, which weren't too hot. I think Netflix was certainly one of them, and a number of others. However, crypto seems to be doing well. You've got gold on the road to around about, we think this is a big bull flag, 2,900, nearly 3K. Ultimately, that's the direction we think that's going in. The markets that we have correlation to are doing well, and actually the dollar, we believe, is in a stage 4 and looking for that downside continuation. So everything, all roads lead to the same destination for us. And actually, there's further macroeconomic data that supports this. We've looked at what happens to markets under a sideways rate criteria. This is percentages of homes sold above listing price. You can see there's been a huge uptick really since we got back into the markets. The analysis that we did wasn't just crypto related. In fact, it was more so macro related. And by the way, economists make the worst investors. We're not an economist. We are an investor that has to watch this stuff and listen to individuals and make our decision up. This is a bank ETFs. Even banks are on the rise, ladies and gentlemen, which sounds absolutely crazy. A lot of the kind of doom and gloom headlines are getting put to one side, and now you're having people have to sort of run back into the markets. So we're going to be covering all this. I want to start things off, as always, with just a nice clean Bitcoin chart. Chainlink up nearly 18% today. We did a video on Chainlink literally 2 days ago telling people what a big deal CCIP was. And we've got lots of interviews coming for you. We're going to be looking at a nice clean Bitcoin chart, a little bit of US interest payments, and then we're going to be hearing from a very well-known World Economic Forum spokesperson actually talk about Yuval Harari, actually talk about Bitcoin and money, and that it's a belief system. Now, Adam Smith famously said money is an ideology. Has this guy hit the nail on the head with Bitcoin? I think to a degree. And isn't it ironic that, and I hate to say that because this guy's a snake in my opinion, isn't it ironic that I think this guy almost sums up Bitcoin better than all the Bitcoin maxis, certainly people like Michael Saylor. And again, remember we looked at holders of MicroStrategy, holders of things like Riot, and how all these big trillion-dollar, biggest asset managers in the world are all getting Bitcoin exposure right now, yet your average sort of YouTuber and Twitter guy is still rather bearish. And there are bulls out there, but these are bulls that literally have been bullish the entire way down here. We're very separate from that. We got out here and got in here. And actually, stage analysis is something that played into that. And again, I really do think stage analysis, and if you're not quite convinced, wait until we've got more content on it. Or not content, wait until we spoke about it a little bit more in detail. If you're a retail investor that doesn't have much time and this isn't a full-time job, that kind of analysis is going to help you, and it's what we're starting to do. So ignore the headlines, guys. Headlines are always off. This, of course, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing rather spectacularly. Chainlink is going to be an absolute monster. In my opinion, Chainlink is a $100 plus token. It got to 53. Chainlink really is setting standards for the entire crypto space, in my opinion. We've got a lot of investments that have done very, very well. Even things like XLM, that we don't really speak that publicly on the channel about, although we've done videos on it. XRP, we caught all of these. We don't really miss too much. So there's a lot going on. We'll see what the stock market opens up like, but Bitcoin is actually doing rather well right now. And ultimately, we do expect it to continue. This is a breakout. You've even retested your breakout range. We've got lots of technical analysis going on here. And ultimately, we are expecting upside. This is now an uptrend, guys. This is now a bull market. Yesterday, we looked at a number of stocks that were actually in a similar position. Snapchat, for example, this is in a breakout stage, guys. Roku, and we can track all this. If you join the Patreon, you will get to track all stocks as well, is what we believe in a breakout. You're going to see more upside out of this. Another one was Robinhood, believe it or not. I know I can hear the boos because they delisted a load of cryptos. These are entering breakouts. As well as crypto, we think crypto outperforms and is now broken out of its downtrend against the likes of the SPY and gold. So we think things are going to do very well. And we'll save this towards the end of the video, actually, the looking at the sort of macro stuff when we look at banks and home sales and stuff like that. But yesterday there was a clip that was released. I think it was from, who's the podcaster? I can't quite remember. Very, very famous podcaster that I can't remember the name of. He interviewed the World Economic Forum spokesperson, Yuval Harari, and he talks about money, he talks about Bitcoin. Let's listen to what he had to say, ladies and gentlemen, because it's very interesting. And has he hit the nail on the head? I think he's got a real good point here, even though I don't like to admit or even side with this individual. I don't side with this guy at all. But I think his ideas of money, his ideas of Bitcoin perhaps are true, and that actually Bitcoin is a belief system in a similar manner. And you're going to get people angrily typing saying, no, it's maths, it's this, it's that, but there has to be a belief in it for it to be valuable. Value is largely an ideology, okay? There are intrinsic things that make something valuable, like the use of it, the application, the industrial use, whatever it may be. But there also is a belief element in everything in regards to money. And crypto, I've always said, as we're not Bitcoin maxis, but we're an admirer of Bitcoin, and we think it's opened Pandora's box and it's brought a massive change to the entire world. And you can only but love it, recognize it, and appreciate it for that. Let's listen to Yuval.
Networks, but it's the same thing with modern politics. It's the same thing with economics. People think, oh, economics, this is rational. It has nothing to do with fictional stories. No. Money is the most successful story ever told. Much more successful than any religious mythology. Not everybody believes in God, or in the same God. Almost everybody believes in money, even though it's just a figment of our imagination. You take these green pieces of paper, dollars, they have no value. You can't eat them, you can't drink them. And today, most dollars are not even pieces of paper. They are just electronic information passing between computers. We value them just for one reason, that you have the best storytellers in the world. The bankers, the finance ministers, all these people, they are the best storytellers ever. And they tell us a story that this green little piece of paper or this bit of information, it is worth a banana. Mm-hmm. And as long as everybody believes it, it works.
So at which point does a fiction...
That's who it is, by the way. Lex Friedman. Sorry, I completely forgot the name. Great podcaster. One of the best. In fact, probably, I don't want to say the best, but certainly up there. Let's continue. Play the clip. Only a few more seconds left, and then we'll look at a little bit of macro stuff and wrap this video
When
up.
it's sufficiently useful and effective and improving the global quality of life, does it become like accepted reality? Like there's a threshold in which you
if enough people believe it. It's like with money. Yeah. If you start a new cryptocurrency, if you're the only one that believes the story, I mean, again, you cryptocurrencies, you have the math, of course, but ultimately it's storytelling. Yeah. You're selling people a story. If nobody believes your story, you don't have anything. But if lots of people believe the Bitcoin story, then Bitcoin can be worth thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. Again, why? I mean, you can't eat it, you can't drink it, it's nothing. It's the story around the math, which is the real magic.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually find myself agreeing with what he's saying. And how is it that he can almost sum up Bitcoin and this idea of money better than a lot of the maxis? So, yeah, very interesting. It's clearly getting a lot of recognition. And it's only going to continue to grow. You know, I don't think people realize just what a big deal it was when you had Larry Fink come out and say that crypto is a global asset that's going to transcend certainly Bitcoin, other currencies due to its global nature. This I found was interesting. We looked at actually, what was it we looked at the other day, guys? Forgive me, my doing a lot of work recently, so my head's kind of all over the place. It was the number one home builder, and that went on to go and put in new all-time highs, just like lots of stocks going on to put in new all-time highs. Ignore the headlines, because that certainly wasn't predicted by most. Except for us on this channel, we still think the S&P's got a long way to go to the upside. And we've got a number of other interesting things we're looking at. This is also banks. Very interesting. We should probably look at this actually and bring this up. I'll see if I can find this. What is he looking at here? The KBE. KBE. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what we got here. I think it's interesting that he's calling this a head and shoulders. Are we on log? I think we might. No, we're not. Okay. I wouldn't say this is a breakout and a long yet. It could easily come down, but once it's formed some sort of base, flip to the right side of things, you know, it could do a similar thing to what it did here. We'll see. So I wouldn't take this as gospel, but very interesting how banks are getting a bit up here. Along with everything, you know, we've said there's actually an epic bull market on the horizon, and lots of people are ignoring us. And yes, the Fed are still being extremely tight. They've still got interest rates set to up it again, which I think is just a token gesture that doesn't really mean much other than them being chauvinistic. The US interest payments on the federal debt versus defense spending. Money has to end in its current form because it just becomes a complete Ponzi and monopoly money. It's Venezuela basically happening right now in regards to debt. At what point does QT become QE? At what point do you raise the interest rates on the debt so much that you have no other choice but to actually go and print money? We've already seen this with the debt ceiling. They continue to issue debt. They're draining it from the repo market, so on and so forth. You know, there's such an interesting... This is honestly the hardest macroeconomic landscape that I've ever had to try and work out. From an investment point of view, from an investor point of view. However, there's never a dull moment, and it's nothing short of exciting. And this is what we do here. This is what we love to do. And hopefully you're all on board with that journey. So just to go back to my point at the start of the video, guys, there is an opportunity, an insane opportunity ahead of you in regards to the crypto space. Again, you don't have to join my Patreon. You don't have to join my group. Find a group, find a community that's worth joining. And if you can afford it, join it. And enjoy the ride, guys. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. If you've enjoyed the content, like us, appreciate it, so as a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a magical Thursday, guys. See you in the next.